Good afternoon. My name is Jean-Luc James, a corporal of the Jamaica Fire Brigade attached to the EMS department Linstead St. Catherine. Today I'm going to be doing a presentation on pre-operational ambulance check. So before the start of each shift, this is what we have to do to ensure smooth operational running of the unit, as well as to ensure that safety remains intact. Alright, so we will start by checking off the front compartment of the unit by flying the bonnet. And from here, we will check in, ensure that enough windshield washer fluid is in the reservoir. Adequate amount of coolant is also in the reservoir, as well as a power steering fluid is also at the correct level. Once all of these are at its optimal level, then we can then move on to the next phase. So on this section, under the seat is where we have our engine. Alright, so from here, we have our battery on this section, and there's also where you can add more power steering fluid. This is the dipstick where you can check the oil level in the engine. And once we see that the correct amount of oil is in the engine, then we can proceed forward. Secure about the latches in place. Alright, so going back over to the driver's side now. From this section now, here we will check our mirrors to ensure that our mirrors are properly aligned. Seat belt is intact, or you check your seat belt. Sharply tug on the seat belt to ensure that the locking mechanism is working, and also that the seat belt can buckle in place. Start the unit, ensure that the unit is running smoothly. Look at our fuel gauge, ensure that adequate amount of fuel is in the reservoir. We can also check our PA system as well as our siren. Checking the PA system. Mic check. 1, 2. Alright, from here I can ask my partner to then assist me in finish checking off the lights and the brake lights and so on. Alright, so from here I can check the tire as I go around the unit. So I'm going to check and ensure that adequate fuel, adequate amount of air in terms of PSI is in the unit, which is 30. Also checking for treading. Adequate treading is on the tire and there's no warp or defect to the tire itself. And I'll continue to go around. You can see that my headlights are working. Front indicator lights are working. You can also see that the steering, the flash on the top of the unit is working. Wiper. Just the wiper blades. Alright, wiper blades are working. Come around, also the same thing for this tire. Alright, tire is also in good condition. Looking at the body of the unit as you go around, looking for any new damages that might have been on the unit. Pressing the tire again. This tire is also good amount of treading. Come around now. Alright, so rear indicator lights are working. Click on the rear. Brake light is working. Reverse. Reverse lights are working. Alright. This tire is also good. Chain is also appropriate. Continue to visually inspecting the body of the unit. And so it end up right where we started. So now, from here, you go around to the patient compartment. Alright, so from here, we can check off as we go along inside here. So in this section here, we have our chest stretcher, we have our fire extinguisher. We ensure that it has not been used and it hasn't expired and everything is still intact. So we have our portable oxygen that is normally stored in this section, and currently there's 900 in the tank. Over on this side we have our onboard, and the onboard is saying refill at the moment. So over on this section now we have our onboard suctioning device. So we'll turn it on and ensure that it's building up enough pressure. Our humidifiers are over on this section along with our non-regular mask. Here we have storage compartments for gauzes, bandages and other forms of dressing. Down here is where our AED is located, so we will check it to ensure that it is still operational and the pads have not been used and the pads are still good. So we will also check our jump kit to ensure that adequate supplies and equipments in the jump kit are operating properly and there's adequate amount of supplies as well. So checking our GMR machine, ensure that enough strips are there and the machine itself is working. Checking our pulse ox. Continue visually checking to ensure that all the supplies that should be on the jump kit is present. Pulse ox machine is working. You would also check to ensure that enough mask and gloves and other proper PPE equipment is also adequately available on the unit. Over on this side we have our C-collars of various sizes, and under here we have different more storage again for different things like our airway adjuncts, EVMs and our fraction management splits and stuff of that nature. Here now for the stretcher, this is where for our stretcher now we're going to simulate the proper loading and unloading of a patient on the stretcher. Ensure the patient is securely firm to the stretcher. And from here we can also adjust the height of the stretcher. That okay, sir? Alright. So from here there are two levers under this section that you will squeeze so one of the two of them to take control. And by squeezing the lever, it releases the locking mechanism, which we can then slide the stretcher in and secure it in place with the latch. Alright? And then from here, you can offload the patient from the stretcher. And so this would end my presentation as it relates to pre-ambulance operational inspection before the start of each day. Thank you.